Floodgate is cursed. I finally get the key and this is what happens. Every DPS forgets bombs exist. Every tank forgets how to tank. I'm losing my mind. And the worst part, the pugs just start to leave. Welcome to episode 2 of Zero to Hero, where I experience more rage than any one man playing a female orc should. In Zero to Hero, I take a spec I've never played and pug my way from 0 rating all the way to 3k in Mythic Plus. And this season, I do it with no guides, no research, no help. My week 2 begins with the Great Vault, and I had 2 Mythic slots. Luckily, I found Myth hands, so I at least get Myth tier out of my first vault. Yes! And after my week 1 push without my key ever rolling to a floodgate, I finally get one. Little did I know though, this key would ruin my entire week. Before stepping into this massive raiding floodgate, I crafted a new net. But last night before reset, when I was lying in bed while I was dreaming of getting that much needed floodgate key, I cooked up a bleed build in my beautiful little mind. I of course tried it in my much needed floodgate key, which I probably should have not done. Why, you may ask? Well, my damage is a complete disaster. The bleed build wasn't bleeding nearly enough to be doing this in a key I desperately needed, especially after letting a party of 3 with a disc priest and 2 hunters walk into this floodgate. And no, I didn't check the hunter specs ahead of time. I hard assumed they would not be survival hunters. Gosh, I hate hunters. But the joke's on the priest, because why the hell are you giving me PI? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Doesn't even matter if it's the best for me. I suck. At least I know how to do mechanics, unlike these 3 stooges. And instead of resetting and salvaging the key, the group, of course, has to power through this. To then just pull the slash abandon on me. Hey, check out this sick first pull to start off this +9. Oh, and did you request a saucy second pull with a shock tank? You did it? Well, looks like I did. I believe. Then everyone decides to ignore my pings on who to focus damage on. So, of course, we wipe. I guess Floodgate is just gonna be that bitch. And this group looked promising until the bear tank just decided to unbear and walk into the boss. Yeah, we wiped, of course. And then, of course, bombs, bombs, bombs! And on the way back, why wouldn't we butt pull something? We love that. It's crazy I've bricked this key all the way down to an 8. At least the tank said good luck before they left. So in this +7, I start the key by asking the most important question of the week. Does everyone know the first boss? This was the run. Beautiful bombs, lean mechanics, and then somehow we killed him. Thank the Titans. But the tank's routing had me sweat. I felt like we were definitely short on percent. Turns out we were. But we had 9 minutes to get it done. Plenty of time. No worries whatsoever. That was until the tank didn't use Death's Advance and gets bonked off the pole into the stun puddle and dies. We lost 2, but the paladin gets the B-res off on the tank and they try and salvage the fight. But our tank doesn't taunt after the phase, and well, we lose the paladin. Still doable though. It's a DK, they won't die, and we just need the priest to start doing some sort of damage. Literally any damage. And at 1% in a dream, the tank died. We wiped. Floodgate is cursed. 2 minutes over the time, but I still got 242 rating. God, I do not want to do this dungeon again. I don't. I wish I never pulled the floodgate key. But there's nothing like getting a good old kick in the nuts after the floodgate in my +6 streets, because my key bugged and the password was not an option. The brick was the only option. My 10 dropped 5 levels. 5! I was so triggered. But on the bright side, I did learn something. During a rage, I'm not pressing enough abilities. talents, because if you didn't know, Raging Blow buffs Rampage and Bloodthirst, which leads me to believe I want to get as many Raging Blows off during my Rampage window. See, I've learned a thing or two about Fury after bashing my head on my keyboard and wall for the last 2 weeks. Am I right though? Who knows? You can let me know in the comments below. And thankfully, I finally timed a key this week, and my +5 streets rolled into a +7 Floodgate. After realizing I needed to get more Raging Blows off, I recrafted my gear to Haste Mastery before diving back into that pug hell that we love so much. That is Floodgate. Before I hopped into this key though, I was playing around with the idea of Reckless Abandoned talent and figured this is probably the best option to make this bleed build work. The talent just empowers my abilities and makes one of my rage builders also do a bleed. Thankfully, we timed the key. It got me 25 rating and I topped the meters by a nut hair, but we topped. So it seems like this bleed build could be working. I haven't done any testing of talents and builds on training dummies though, so it's hard to tell which one's better. I'm just going off the vibes, you jabronis. Oh, by the way, it gave me a +8 streets. Sick! Yeah, bleeds probably ain't it. Haste feels great though. After a +2 key, I know I could have topped it with different talents. The bleeds were in total 7% of my overall damage. So your boy went back to the drawing board. I saw that Thunderous Roar, my AoE, and dot only did a little over 5% of my damage. I haven't tried Champion Spear, so I figured, why the hell not? Especially since it gives me bonus crit on anything in its AoE. That sounds pretty sick to me. The spec though feels so much better since I recrafted for some haste. I just don't know if I want crit or mastery. The spec's feeling a lot better and I'm enjoying it, so I guess I'll just stick with stacking mastery and haste. And after that +2 streets, on to my next 10, a Floodgate. What the is my key ever going to roll a different dungeon? God damn. This was the redemption run though. The best opener I've ever had. Look at that damage. Smooth boss kill. Everything's perfect. Priest DCs. He comes back and leaves. Who does that? Who DCs, comes back and just leaves the party? I hope you rot in the fiery pools of the Firelands, you light-loving. Do you have any clue what the hell I've been going through with this dungeon? Please like and subscribe. In the +9, we had a Pumper Star. Monk Hunter doing giga damage. Hank dies on first boss. Dies again on the second boss. We wipe. People have been doing this dungeon for 2 seasons. 2 seasons. And still don't know how to Floodgate. Back down to the 8 we go. I love it. Well, in the +8, my recording stopped mid-key, so here's the important part. We timed it, I topped DPS, and got a Halls 10. And a pacemaker trinket. And now, I'm riding that dopamine high, baby. We're finally back to a 10 key, which is gonna be some IO. And this run restored my faith in humanity. Smooth, clean, only a few dumb deaths. I finally felt like things were starting to fall into place with my rotation and damage and these damn pugs. We +2 the key and got a +12 Arakara. I also got a new ring and an idol? Shit, it's Warbound. I hate that. That shit's so annoying. Afterwards, I had enough crests to go ahead and craft some bracers. This was a victory I so desperately needed. My inner rage is finally dropping and I finally feel good. We're back on track to get some rating and get closer to that 3K mark. In this 12 Arakara, this right here was the crew. Clean first half. We're freaking killing. I'm doing damage. They're doing more damage. We're all just cranking. I'm finally living around that 9 mil overall mark. This is a huge accomplishment. Then I follow the shaman on a fake skip. He's not the tank. Why am I following him? And we wipe. Shaman's bad, but I was a part of this, so my bad too. I'll own up to it. The final boss though was messy. The timer was tight, but we clutched it. Huge key, huge confidence boost. Nothing gets me going more than the first time 12 in these challenges. And hell yeah, I can do the lead tech on the sucking. I'm a warrior bro now. Hit me with it. At this point, I decided I'm pushing for rating in order to finish the challenge. So I opted to hop into this 13 halls I was now in possession of. Unfortunately, we just barely didn't time it. Partially due to our deaths, but more specifically, my terrible damage. There's still a lot of room for improvement from me. My damage is still in flux as I hone in my rotation and try to become more consistent, because I don't want to be the crutch on the damage front while I'm trying to reach 3K. I do end up bricking that 12 Dawn I got all the way down and end up on Priory to end the week. This key turned out to be my best performance yet. Although I finished third on the meters, I almost hit 7 mil. Come on now, guys, give you boys some credit. That's progress. I was nowhere close to doing that last week. I mean, granted, I got some items, but you know, still, give me some credit, please. Round of applause. This week, though, was painful, but also a massive improvement. I reforged some of my stats, found a build I am enjoying, cleared my first 12, and did my best overall damage. Sometimes it's not about how it started, all about how it ended. And this week ended well, because I'm ending at 7 item level with 2 great trinkets and a ton of crafted gear. I finally got my first Floodgate key. Funny enough, it was most of my rating I earned this week and broke 2,500. And next week, we're opening another 2 Mythic Vault slots and entering Turbo Boost. Pray for me, because I still have a long way to go. And this season has not been friendly thus far. I also don't really know what I'm doing, even though I'm feeling good about it. Let's just see how this turns out. Next week on Zero to Hero, Turbo Boost is in effect. It's time for your boy to push. Although he found a build he enjoys, he can't resist switching it up. Will this cause him to crash and burn? Or will he finally hit 3K rate? The only way to find out is if you punch that like button, kiss that subscribe button, and tickle my bell, because episode 3 is about to go hard.